George Osborne is dishing the dirt on fellow Tories Boris Johnson and Dominic Cummings, saying the two men sent sexist WhatsApp messages, which will emerge in the COVID-19 inquiry.
I've got to be a little bit careful here. It's a judicial inquiry, but from what I understand, there is some pretty staggering things that have been said on those WhatsApp messages by not just Boris Johnson, but key advisors like Dominic Cummings, really pretty disgusting language and misogynistic language. And I think if you didn't think very highly of that period of government, you're going to feel even less highly after you've heard those messages next week.
Cummings is due to give evidence at the public inquiry on Tuesday, while the former PM will do so next month. Embarrassing messages have already been released in which Cabinet Secretary Simon Case described Johnson's wife as the real person in charge and called the government a terrible, tragic joke. Now, is anyone surprised? Raise your hands if you're surprised. Raise your hand.
Not at all.
Okay, look, the thing about the pandemic and what made it so controversial was the fact that if every issue became a culture war issue, and it became very clear very quickly that there was something deeply unhealthy about how much power we entrusted in the government of the day. It doesn't matter whether it was Labour or Conservative. You had these people that were totally unfit to be in office in the first place, that had the ability to make these massive decisions for all of us, right? They had the ability to effectively smack our economy into a brick wall, to destroy family businesses, to lock us in our homes and all of that. As this inquiry goes and these revelations come out, we actually see more of the caliber of these particular politicians. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like other politicians would have reacted differently, because obviously COVID was a unique set of circumstances, but we have to remember that this can never happen again. It doesn't matter what is going on. That is why we have politics, because we're supposed to be able to debate issues that affect all of us. We cannot say, you know, the scientists are demigods and at the helm of them are the likes of Boris Johnson and Dominic Cummings. Never again. I don't care who it is. This is completely unacceptable.
What?
But this
sending
also...
text messages is acceptable?
No, so what? Sending text messages.
That's what it's about. We're talking about sexist text messages.
Well, yeah, exactly. But these
it.
are people that are leading us. These are people that are telling us stay in your homes, and they have no moral compass whatsoever.
Look, this is about a real fall in standards in public office and people who are supposed to be leading in public life. You know, last night we were talking about MPs that are being accused of rape, sexual assault, all this kind of stuff. This is not what is happening here. However, it is about a general fall in standard of public life, a fall in the standard of what we expect from our MPs who are supposed to be working for us, who aren't supposed to be sending sexist WhatsApps, sexist, misogynistic text messages, aren't supposed to be getting drunk in Parliament every night, and aren't supposed to be feeling up their secretaries behind their desks.
Adrian, help me out here. This is just boys being boys, right?
Oh, God. JJ, my friend. Right. No, all I can say is, and I'm quite old, probably older than anybody on this panel here. I remember some seriously heavyweight politicians over the years, you know, when I was growing up. And names that you think, my God, they're powerful. I may not agree with you, but I really think you're determined and focused. When Boris Johnson was the mayor of London, everybody went, actually, he's fun, he's good, he's doing things for London. And people presumed that when he became Prime Minister, he would surround himself with very intelligent, clever people who were thinking on behalf of the nation. How wrong we were.
And I think that's the point, isn't it? And I agree with you. I think the reason why he became the mayor of London, I don't know if this is of no interest to people in Manchester or anywhere else, but the point is, I think people did kind of vote for change. They went, OK, the other politicians in the past, you know, they spout this, they say this and everything else, but hey, he's kind of a groovy guy. God, my goodness, I'm even older, definitely. But he did. And then I think you're right, Afia, about the fact that, you know, the problem is that we ended up with people who were in charge. It was wrong time, wrong place. They would have been OK in the sort of, you know, almost in the kind of Britpop era. They would have been fine, you know, when we had New Labour,
Not during a pandemic.
Not during a pandemic, when we needed sober heads, we needed people who were actually not just clever, because, of course, you know, the whole thing about Boris is that we all go, oh, he's clever, he can speak Latin at the drop of a hat. You know,
but no common sense.
He's got no common sense.
You know what there were no statesmen.
Wait a second, because we're conflating here. We're talking about the sexist
We're allowed
messages.
to conflate everything.
We're talking about sexist text messages, WhatsApp messages. And if I'm honest, I don't know what the content of them was.
Yeah, of course.
But I doubt that there's any man in this country who's not in a WhatsApp group or has never heard a sexist joke and has gone, oh, that's actually a good one.
Yeah, but
not during a pandemic.
The standards are different for our politicians.
No. This is not. They won't do this in public. They are still humans. They still have their own lives. If they're behind closed doors talking about the pandemic and they make a joke that's sexist, I don't think it's that big a deal. I really don't think it's that big a deal. Plus, one more thing. Sorry, sis. Let me just add. These people blaming Carrie and saying that she was the one in charge. We see this time and time again. The woman getting blamed. So
I agree with you.
All the same for me.
I agree with you on that they're using Carrie as a scapegoat, and that's absolutely not the case.
I don't think that's fair because she did get her friends employed by Boris Johnson and his team. But that's evidence. It's more than just pillow talk. This is actually, she is bringing her own circle of friends into the fold, and they're having influence over our lives.
But listen,
and they're not elected.
She was not the Prime Minister. She was not the one in charge. She was not in charge of giving people jobs. If Boris Johnson and his cronies decided to hire them, that's up to them. But I disagree with you, JJ, that our politicians should be held to a higher standard. I don't want Rishi Sunak making sexist jokes in a WhatsApp group. I don't think Joe Biden probably doesn't use WhatsApp.
I think that's the point. That's the work WhatsApp
That's the point.
group.
Work WhatsApp.
Exactly.
Listen, my WhatsApps are outrageous. Please never go through them.
Yeah, but your personal WhatsApp and your work WhatsApp.
But this is the thing. And can I just say, we also... I don't like this idea that, it was a wrong place, wrong time. People like Michael Gove have been sounding the alarm over Boris Johnson for years. He notoriously was against Boris becoming the leader of the Conservative Party because he highlighted his character flaws that we've seen all throughout the pandemic, after the pandemic.
All I'm saying is the fact that actually if that cabinet had been in an era when we weren't facing something so hideous as a pandemic, something that we had never seen before, so that actually nobody had any kind of thing to reach for to say, this is how we deal with this in the past.
Look, last word for me, it was just a bit of banter. Coming up, a leading...